Okay, Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. We're going to continue with chapter 4. It's about human and career development across a lifespan. So, this chapter start with what is human development? Is actually human development is about all about age related and lifespan changes and transitions across human behavior, life, work, and work from youth to old age. So in this human life developments, we're gonna talk about physical changes. We're gonna talk about career changes and also the transitions between the stages, so from youth to old age. And we're going to talk about lifespan changes and transitions in behavior of human being and also in their life and work. Why it is important to study, to know this topic, or to learn a little bit about human development. If we know about human development, about the knowledge about human development, we could expect from people during what's actually happened during different stages, during various stages. And we also could manage individual differences because human beings are born with different kind of personality. So they have in each of the individual they have differences. So if we could understand human development, we also could understand the differences between individuals. And also it is important to understand that how people develop competency. What is meant by competency is actually referring to the knowledge, skill, and values for work and careers. If we understand human development, we could understand how human or individual develops the competencies important for later career or for career developments. So human development is all about three things: growth, maturations, and decline. So growth, maturations, in decline are in terms of physical development of human being, in terms of biological characteristics. We study this in chapter 3, biological characteristic, physiological characteristics, and also thought processes. When we are young, our thought processes is not really it's not really developed fully. So thought processes develop throughout our lifespan. That's mean from the beginning when we were a child to the end. So it's developed. It's like the line is increasing. Is increasing. It's like from lower to higher. So that's what is meant by thought processes. So our thought processes become matured when we reach certain age, for example, around 40 or 30, 40 years old. So it's reach its peaks. So it will decline when we're getting old. So the thought processes also decline. So it's kind of a life cycle. And social, emotional, moral, all these actually related to growth, maturations, and decline, and as well as productive behavior. So productive behavior also will decline when we come to the later age, when we get older. So the transitions, you will come across some of the concept in the textbook. For example, transitions. So basically, transitions is the progressions through stages of developments. Between these stages, or between stages, there will be transitions through stages of development, much reach maturity in every age. So this actually referring to human development in terms of these three things: growth, maturations, and decline. So growth is start at the beginning when we were born, and then reach the peak at the age of maturations here, and will decline at the age of older. When we're getting older. So you can see the life cycle is like from lower, and then keep increasing and reach the peaks at this maturity age, and then start to decline. So it's like a curve shape, like a curve shape. So from here, lower ups to down backs. So this, between this level or these stages, there will be transitions. That means progressions between this stage with the next stage. So there are other concepts in the textbook. For example, growth. I already mentioned about growth. This is growth. Growth is also is in terms of physical and biological structure and improvement in the mental and psychosocial competency. So when we talk about growth, it's not only growth in physical but also in terms of mental processes. So from the early age, for example, when we were born, our mental processes is not really fully developed. When we increase in age, our mental processes as well as physical also increase with the increase of age. So after certain age, when the mental processes and physical development reach its peaks around maturations, that means later adult, or middle adulthoods, and then will decline after this stage. So growth also increase with the increase of age. Maturations, what is meant by maturations? Maturations is a changes due to genetics and biological attributes. Can be inborn, that means can be genetically within us, or can be also through environmental influence. This also can hinder or can inhibit the experience of maturations or the occurrence of maturations. And aging is referring to getting older. When you are aging, you are getting older. So it's basically chronological age in years. That means in years in age, from early age to the later age. So aging is this stage. So it's also increasing, chronological increase. That means from here increase and then decline. And also biological and physical changes also come in decrease with the aging. So decline, however, when we reach the old age, even though it's decline in terms of physical, but there are something that are also improved, especially in terms of experience, in terms of knowledge, for example. Maturity is referring to the integrations of physical combinations of physical, cognitive, social, and psychological. That's important for our fully functioning. So maturity is very important. When we reach the age of maturity or maturations, we could integrate our physical maturations with the cognitive maturations, with the social, psychological, and so on. So if we didn't reach the age of maturity, we are unable to integrate our physical developments with the cognitive, so we cannot integrate. We just increase in age but not increase in so it didn't reach the maturity stage. Readiness is a level of sufficient maturity to benefit from the learning experience. So its readiness depends on individual. Sometimes at the early age they already ready to be influenced by the to get benefits from the environments, learning environments. It depends on the individual, this readiness. Okay, there are 4 characteristics of human development. So in order to understand human development, it is just not enough to understand the physical developments and also to understand the mental developments. We also need to understand there are 4 characteristics of human development. Start with hierarchical evolution of phases, differentiations from general to particular, increased complexity, and predictability. So first stage is first factor regarding human development in terms of characteristics. If we understand, or if we learn, or if we read, it is important to study human development because we could distinguish by stages human development. For example, what is early age, what is young adults, what is middle adulthood, what is late adulthood. If we didn't study human development, we will not know about the stages that we have throughout our lifespan. So for example, early age, what's normally we're going to experience, how we learn at the early age, and when we reach young adults, what are actually our preference, what are actually our behavior will be. Are they the same with the early age or different with the middle age? At the middle age, what's our preference, and then what we are focusing more. So their behavior of all these stages are different. In terms of behavior, it's not only physical and mental changes, but also different other things, career preference, career preparations, and so on. So if we know human development, we tend to expect what's gonna happen, what will happen if we reach this age, and if we are at this age, we will expect when we reach this age what's gonna happen to us. For example, our physical health may be declined as well. We tend to get more disease. We tend to get so many illnesses and pain when we reach this age. Also, what is our mental processes? Are we getting slower or getting faster? So we could expect what gonna happen to us if we have knowledge about human developments. We call it hierarchical evolutions of phases. Second factor of human characteristics regarding human development is differentiations from general to particular. Like I mentioned in the beginning, it's not just the physical that increase with the increase of age. Maturations of the brain also increase. So when the maturations of brain increase is related to the ability to solve the problem or the skills important for problem solving. So in the beginning or at the early age, the brains could only understand more things that are concrete. What is meant by concrete? Concrete is something that you can clearly see, observe. For example, I give you these pictures of the flowers of the rose. So it is very concrete because you know it's rose. But abstract is like you look at the picture that have no meaning, like this. Oh, how do you want to interpret this? So normally people who have experience could interpret this. So the brains actually when we are young could only understand the concrete things. So things we can interpret what we see based on something that is very obvious. So when we're getting older, with the experience, with the more learning exposure to the environment, we could understand more abstracts like a photos or abstract problem solving. So if people ask you to solve problems that are not happened before, that you do not know what's going to happen next, so it's based on the experience, based on the knowledge. You need to have knowledge, you need to have experience, you need to have exposure, then you could solve problem related to abstract. So when we talk about maturity of the brains, brain also develops based on the increase of the age, also mean increase of the brain, developments of the brain. At the beginning of our age, we tend to understand better concrete. At this age, we tend to have problem understanding abstracts. So when we getting older, we tend to have more ability to understand more abstract problems or abstract kind of perspective. So that's why it's meant from general to particular. That's mean from general here to particular. Increasing complexity referring to the development of the neuron. We study this in chapter 3 regarding how neuron becomes speedier with the increase of age, with the developments of our physiological, and decline also with the decline of age. So when we the increase of age actually means the neuron becomes speedier and to be able to connect faster, have transmissions of the neuron or impulses become more speedier. So we be able to understand complex behavior, because the neuron are getting speedier. So at the early age, our neuron is not really developed that's why we have some problems in understanding abstract things. So when neuron becomes speedier, we could understand better. So we become more intelligent because we, through experience, through knowledge, and so on. With the increase of age, we also increase in knowledge, understanding, and so on. So our neuron becomes speedier, and our intelligence also become better. So that's why it's said by increased complexity.